boy, oh boy, Nintendo has really outdone themselves this time. And I don't really mean that in the bad way. I mean that in like a very good way. Nintendo really, really has outdone themselves this time with this direct. But I do want to focus on two key things in this direct because there are two things that I do want to talk about that I'm genuinely excited for. But there's also the matter of their reputation I want to talk about. So I'm going to give you all a quick recap on that. So, in case you guys weren't aware or if you missed it, Nintendo's latest direct of last year, or their last direct in September, was literally farming simulators and JRPGs. And it was literally one of the worst Nintendo directs of all time last year. And that pretty much everybody was making fun of Nintendo because there was farming simulators and JRPGs, and everyone was wondering what the hell was that direct Nintendo last year in September of 2022? Where's all the games and everything? And everyone just was making fun of Nintendo, including myself, and everyone was just poking the bear, wondering, hey Nintendo, when are we gonna get a good direct? Hey Nintendo, when are you gonna give us a good direct? And finally, they slapped everybody in the face with this direct and said, here's your direct, now stop hounding us. So, I do want to address one thing before I get too carried away. I am genuinely glad that we finally got a good direct after what it seems like hope was about. I don't want to say hope was going to be lost, but it just seems like Nintendo has been like in a downward spiral since their September direct of last year because people were questioning like, okay, is this the start of Nintendo's decline for their directs? Like, is this seriously gonna be how Nintendo's gonna handle their directs going forward with these crappy games that nobody cares about and these weird looking games that like literally grandmas or grandpas only play, or like only the farming simulator fans and all that stuff, or like the anime fans? Like, I think guys know what I'm trying to get at. But finally, what I'm trying to get at is we got a good direct. We got some update expansions for some games, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We got some expansion updates for Fire Emblem Engage, which I still have yet to play. We got some updates for Splatoon 3's expansion pass, which I still have yet to play. And two big things I thought was important in this direct was Metroid Prime Remastered. And we got Advanced Wars 1 plus 2 Reboot Camp. Now, I'm going to say this before I get carried away. I am still convinced that Advanced Wars Reboot Camp is canceled. I am still convinced because if you guys remembered last year or in like 2021 when the game got announced, like in 2021, they had a direct saying this game's coming in December, but then it was delayed due to development issues. And then 2022, Russia has officially declared war and invaded Ukraine, and then they decided to just scrap the game entirely and cancel it because of the world conflicts. And now here we are in 2023 where the game's finally coming back, which I am still in complete denial over that it's coming out. I'm still convinced it's canceled. I'm in denial. But they're saying that it's supposed to come out in April. Now, Nintendo, I still believe, I think they made the right choice of not bringing this game out because of world events. And since they're going to try, and keep in mind, I said try to target an April release, because last year, you remember what happened with the previous release. Russia invaded Ukraine, and then they decided to just wipe all pre-orders from the stores completely. So my one concern is, will something like this happen again, but with a different country? Like, could China possibly invade Japan or invade the US, and then the game gets wiped out completely, and then Nintendo's like, yeah, let's just scrap this game entirely. But hopefully things like that do not happen. I pray to God that things like that do not happen. And if another world event, like for example, if China were to invade a different country, I would feel devastated about that, and that would be a different topic for another day. Just like Russia invading Ukraine, that's just another topic for another day. But the whole reason why Nintendo delayed Advance Wars or canceled it was because of world events like that, and they didn't want to get bad PR. And if they released Advanced Wars this month, they would have got bad PR for it because this is the 1 year anniversary that Russia invaded Ukraine. So they decided to just, yeah, let's release it in a different month. But so they wouldn't get bad PR. But honestly, at the end of the day, at least now that the Advance Wars fans finally have some news after what we have been given complete radio silence about this game for like the past 2 years when this game was supposed to come out in 2021. So it's been 2 years of radio silence, and finally the game is supposed to come out in April. Now, if the game does come out in April, I will make a follow up video. I remember making a video in the past talking about I am convinced that Advance Wars has been canceled, but if it does officially come out and doesn't get delayed due to world events, I will make a follow up video explaining I was wrong. And of course, I am gonna try to get the game too if it comes out. But enough of me jibber jabbering about Advance Wars. Now I'm gonna move on to the next big thing that I think is interesting: Metroid Prime Remastered. I don't know if there's any Metroid fans out there, but I love Metroid. I've been playing Metroid Prime on the Nintendo GameCube since I was a child, and that was literally one of my favorite childhood games. It can be pretty scary at times, but it is such a fantastic game. And the fact that they showed us that there's finally going to be a remaster for it for the Nintendo Switch, I am just so stoked and so excited to play this game finally. Now, they did say in their direct or advertise that Metroid Prime Remaster is getting a digital release, and I believe that's going to be available as soon as the direct is done. And the physical copies of the game should be coming out on the 22nd of February. I could be wrong about the digital part, but as far as I'm aware, the physical game release is available in stores for February 22nd, which I'm actually going to try to get my hands on a physical copy of that game, which is going to be pretty exciting. So, honestly, we needed good stuff like this badly. Especially because a lot of fans of Nintendo were worried, like, where is the news for Metroid Prime Remastered? Where is the news for Advance Wars? Were these games canceled? Are these games, like, done for? What happened? And now that Nintendo finally showed them off, well, showcased them at least, some trailers in the direct, and finally we got some news on it that they're finally coming out. So if you guys were wondering if those games were not coming, they are finally coming. So there's no need to really panic. We can finally breathe a minute and just, oh, finally, a breath of fresh air of good games that we know and love are finally coming back. And we're finally going to get some good games, unlike some of the garbage games we were getting last year, like Diablo Immortal. Personally, I have not laid a finger on that game. I've seen so many people play it. It looks completely terrible. I advise everyone, please avoid that game for the sake of your wallet. No, but on a real note, I'm definitely going to be getting Metroid Prime Remastered for my Switch, and I'm going to be playing the heck out of that game. Because that is a franchise that a lot of people, including myself, were begging to come back. And if you thought Metroid Dread sold incredibly well and a lot of people enjoyed, imagine what people will be like if we got it much sooner. And oh wait, it is coming much sooner, in February 22nd. You thought Metroid Dread will sell well. Just imagine what could happen if everyone just buys Metroid Prime Remastered. Because it's been like, what, 20 years, I believe, since it originally came out on the Nintendo GameCube in the early 2000s. And now we're finally getting these games. So, I am going to say this right now. If you're looking to get either of these games that you saw in the direct that I didn't announce because I forgot some of those games, I was trying to pay attention to some of the interesting games like Advance Wars and Metroid and Bayonetta, which personally I think is kind of interesting, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see the reviews for Bayonetta Origins on it. I'm still playing through Bayonetta 3, but honestly, I would try to get physical copies of the game if I were you guys. I know in their direct they said that they're gonna be giving out digital, or they're making Metroid Prime like available as digital first. But honestly, once February 22nd comes out, I think it's best if you guys try to wait and get the physical copy of the game for the sake of game preservation reasons, and also because I think it would be much better that we get a physical copy of the game. But that's just me giving my honest thoughts and opinions. I think the physical copies are much better. I mean, unless you can't find the physical copy of that game, then get it digitally. That's usually what I do. If I can't find a copy of that game I want, then maybe I'll get it digitally. But you can pre-order Advance Wars and you can pre-order Metroid Prime if you want, or get it as soon as you need it. But honestly, dude, Nintendo really needed this momentum boost. This is something that Nintendo desperately needed after their last direct in September 2022. Because, like I said already, they were just the laughing stock when they showed their September direct. But now here we are in February, where they're showing us, hey, guess what? Get these games right now, or get some of these games that are coming in the near future. So, good on Nintendo. It's good to see that they finally redeemed themselves, and I'm actually pretty excited to get some of these games that were showed in this direct. So, if I were you guys, I would definitely do some research on some of these games. I'm definitely going to be doing some more research myself, just so I know what I'm getting myself into. Metroid Prime, I already know I'm going to get regardless. I played the original game on my GameCube, and I still have that. But I want to get the remaster for my Switch and see how well that holds up. And if Advance Wars does come out, which I'm praying to God for, and I'm praying to God that I'm wrong about it being canceled, but it's trying to go for a April release, I think April 21st, like the week after Easter. I could be wrong, but if it does come out, not only will I make a follow-up video saying I was wrong, but I want to be sure that we get physical copies of this game and we can play it. So, all I'm going to say is good job, Nintendo. You redeemed yourself with this direct, so let's just hope you keep things strong going forward. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for listening. Let me know what you all think down below. Do you like the Nintendo Direct of what Nintendo showed us? Do you not like it? Let me know down below. And until next time, you guys, I'm talking about how Nintendo has redeemed themselves with their reputation, and I'll see you all later.